Hello, grade 9. Today we're going to correct the homework and we are going to solve some exercises related to meiosis. So please follow along. Let's start with exercise 7. So please open your book to page 181. The figure below shows the karyotype of a human cell. Question 1. Specify if the cell can be skin cell, a nerve cell, a sperm cell, or an ovum. So, the cell can be a skin cell or a nerve cell, but not a sperm cell or an ovum. Why? Since, as you see, the karyotype shows pairs of chromosomes, which means 2N, that characterize only somatic cells like skin cells and nerve cells. However, the sperm cell and the ovum are gametes having N chromosomes or 23 chromosomes. Question 2. Indicate if the karyotype belongs to a boy or a girl and justify your answer. The karyotype belongs to a girl since the gonosomes are XX, 2 homologous gonosomes, and there is no Y gonosome. Exercise 10, page 182. A student identifies the phase below where only 2 homologous chromosomes are shown as the anaphase of the second meiotic division. So the student said that this is anaphase 2. Question 1. Indicate if this identification is correct. Justify your answer. It's not correct since this cell shows the separation of homologous chromosomes, each of 2 chromatids, and this happens in anaphase of the first meiotic division. However, you know that in the second meiotic division, in anaphase 2, the sister chromatids separate, just like in mitosis. Question 2. Label the structures numbered 1 to 3. Number 1, aster. Number 2, spindle fiber. Number 3, 2 chromatids. Question 3. Specify if the cell is an animal cell or a plant cell. It's an animal cell. Why? Since it shows the presence of asters that are absent in plant cells. So always search for the asters. Whenever you see asters in the cell, then this is an animal cell. If no asters are observed, then this is a plant cell. Exercise 11. The figure below represents fertilization and the formation of the zygote. Only 6 chromosomes are shown. So you see a sperm cell containing gonosome Y and an ovum containing 2 gonosomes X. And by fertilization, a zygote is going to be produced. Question 1. Draw the figure that represents the chromosomes of the zygote. So you know that the zygote results from the union of the sperm with an ovum. And since the sperm has gonosome Y and the ovum has both gonosomes X, so the zygote will have XXY. So tell me please, is the ovum a normal gamete here? Of course not, because if it was normal, it would contain only 1 gonosome X and not 2 gonosomes X. Then this ovum is abnormal. Question 2. Indicate the sex of the newborn. The newborn will be a boy due to the presence of the gonosome Y that characterizes the male sex. Question 3. The baby possesses a chromosomal abnormality. Indicate the cause of this abnormality. So the cause of this abnormality is the presence of an extra gonosome X instead of having 1 X. So it's clear that the zygote should possess only 2 gonosomes. However, here the zygote possesses 3 gonosomes. And do you remember? The zygote is going to become an embryo having the disease that we call Klinefelter syndrome. Let's solve this exercise. The adjacent document represents some phases of a cellular division. For simplicity, we represent only the chromosome pair 9, where alleles B and O of the gene determining blood group in humans are localized, by referring to the given document. Question 1.1. Describe the modification that occurs on chromosome number 9 as the initial cell transforms to cell E. Look at the figure at the opposite document. The initial cell has 2 chromosomes, 9. Cell E also with 2 chromosomes, 9. And finally cells F and G. The question is to describe what happens between the initial cell and cell E on chromosome 9. So chromosome 9, the initial cell contains a pair of chromosome 9, each is of single chromatid. One chromosome carries the allele B and the other chromosome carries the allele O. After interphase, the cell becomes cell E, containing 2 chromosomes number 9, each of 2 chromatids, carrying the same type of allele, BB on the first chromosome, OO on the second chromosome. Okay, let's move to the second question. Compare the number of chromosomes in cells E, F, and G. Just look at the cells E, F, and G and compare the number. The cell E contains 2 chromosomes number 9. Is it the same as in cells F and G? No. So we should use here the connector whereas or while or however. So whereas each of the 2 cells F and G contains 1 chromosome 9, which is half the number of chromosomes in cell E. Question 3. Pick out from the document the cause of the difference in the number of chromosomes in these cells E, F, and G. So all you have to do is just to pick out the cause. So the cause is shown clearly in the document. So where shall we look for the cause? It's between cells E, F, and G. What is the cause? Yes, so the cause of such a difference is the reductional division, the separation of homologous chromosomes. So this is what causes the difference in the number of chromosomes, because you remember that at anaphase 1, homologous chromosomes separate, and that's why the daughter cells in meiosis 1 have each N chromosome or half the number of chromosomes of the mother cell. Okay. Now, indicate the number of cells produced by cells F and G after the second meiotic division. Let's think. What is the number of cells produced by F and G? F and G are the cells resulting from meiosis 1. So they are going to undergo meiosis 2. Each cell of them is going to give 2 daughter cells. Then cell F gives 2 and cell G gives 2. So the result will be 4 cells. So always the outcome of meiosis is 4 daughter cells. Last question, 2.2. Do the cells obtained at the end of meiosis carry the same genetic information? Justify the answer by referring to the document and to your knowledge. The answer is no. Why? Because the 2 cells produced by cell F will carry the allele B, just like the cell F. And the 2 cells produced by cell G will carry also the allele O, just like the cell G. Of course, these 4 cells obtained at the end of the second meiotic division. Allele B carries genetic information which is different from the genetic information carried by allele O. Application 2. The chromosomes are carriers of the genetic information. Any change in the number or form of a chromosome can lead to a modification in the expression of the genetic program. A fragment S located only on chromosome Y carries the genetic information responsible for the appearance of masculine characteristics or male characteristics. The opposite document shows the sex chromosomes of 3 individuals. So you have individual 1, normal individual with normal X, normal Y, and you see the fragment S on Y chromosome. And this fragment S, it determines the male characteristics. Another individual 2, normal individual with XX, and individual 3, who is abnormal individual. Question 1, indicate the sex of individuals 1 and 2. Justify the answer in each case. 1 is a man of normal karyotype having 2 sex chromosomes, X and Y, that differ in size. X chromosome is longer than Y chromosome. 2 is a woman of normal karyotype having 2 chromosomes, X of the same size. 2.1. Compare the sex chromosomes of individual 2 to that of individual 3. Individual 3 has an X chromosome that is similar to the X chromosomes in woman 2. As you see in the figure, so 3 has one X chromosome that is similar to both X chromosomes in woman 2. They have the same size, whereas the other X chromosome in individual 3 is longer than that in woman 2. A fragment of Y chromosome is linked to the long X chromosome in individual 3. 2.2. Draw out the origin of the abnormality in individual 3. What do you think the cause, the origin? We mean the cause of the abnormality in individual 3. Yes, the origin of this abnormality is the abnormal presence of fragment S of the chromosome Y on X chromosome. What would the consequence of this abnormality be in individual 3? So, what will be the result of this abnormality? The presence of a fragment of chromosome Y that is linked to chromosome X carries the information of the masculine character. Therefore, the masculine, the male sex is going to be expressed by this individual. Please, grade 9, I want you to copy the correction of the homework in your copybooks and review very well applications 1 and 2. Thank you, stay safe, and see you soon.